Well, good morning, everybody. This is Paul Romero with the Swiss Gold Global Independent Business Owner Network Marketing Training number 84, and I want to wish everyone a very, very happy New Op Day. Yes.
Yes, you remembered New Op.
Good morning,
And I
John.
want to say welcome, everybody. And I love your hair this morning, Paul. Did you just get out of?
Yeah, well, you can thank Google Plus for that again. I'm sitting here, got everything all set up again. I have no idea what's going on. I'm doing something wrong, obviously. When I set this all up and I send out the invites early and I send out a message and I let everybody know this thing's going to happen, somehow or another, there's got to be another way that I can get back to that, um, getting this thing going. So I've been sitting here for the last 15 minutes. You know, this thing was set up a half an hour ago. I'm sitting here for the last 15 minutes, going back, having to uh, cancel out the earlier event, and delete it, and all this stuff, and and start this one fresh. I got frozen screens. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, thank Google for this beautiful this beautiful morning dew I got here.
Oh, well, that's quite okay. So I think where we left off on Friday, we were discussing Chapter 5 of the book, which is napkin presentation number 4. And it's all about digging down to bedrock. And we only got about halfway through that chapter. So we'll do a quick review of of what we already covered, and then we'll pick it up where we left off.
Yeah, we covered the first half of the presentation. Now again, napkin presentation number 4, and basically, we talked about not worrying about what the whole program and organization and network marketing, and we talked about not worrying about what any of that looks like in the beginning, because it might look like this. You might feel like you're way back here, there's all these people in front of you that are doing all this stuff, and there's some people that are way out there, and you're never going to be able to catch up. And that's the beautiful thing, because when you're like this, you don't have to catch up, because we talked about how there is no finish line. So the fact that this guy's going to be out there in front of you, hey, he can be out there in front of you all day long. The fact that these guys are out in front of you, they can be out there in front of you all day long. You're here, you're going, there is no finish line. You're going to get to where you want to go at your pace. We also talked about how there are the only losers are the quitters, because there is no finish line. So if you quit, you lose. If you don't quit, you get where you're going. Okay? We talked about how you must be willing to, go back to school and, learn and be willing to commit. That's kind of the big thing here, is you need to be willing to commit, some time each week, even if it's just a few hours a week. You got to be able to commit that time over a period of time. You can't, you got to be able to do it for like 6 months. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Okay, sorry. More computer fun. All right. You got to be willing to commit, okay, a little bit of time for at least a lengthy period of time, 6 months. You can't just be like, oh yeah, I'll give it 30 days and see what happens. And the people that you're talking to when you're out there sponsoring, if they have that attitude, move on. They're never going to get anywhere. Find the people that are like, yeah, I can really put in, even if somebody can only put in 2 or 3 hours a week, that's fine. If they're going to be there and do that every week, those are the people you want, because that 2 or 3 hours will grow to 4 or 5 and 6 to 10 and 20 to 30 and blah, 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 and all that. So anyway, so we start. Oh, and we also talked about how the first 6 months, or not 6 months, the first 30 to 60 days. Don't consider yourself as actually starting your business here. The first 30 to 60 days, you're considering this is your training period, okay? You're learning, and during your training period, there's only 2 things that you're doing, and that is basically inviting people to the first 4 chapters of this book, Own Your Life, by Don Fala, and the 45-second presentation, and you are inviting people to see and experience the business, and at the same time you are learning, and you are learning about the business yourself and the product, and the compensation plan, and you're learning about all that stuff too. So from there, John, take this for a second. I got to plug this thing in before I die and we lose everything.
All right. Well, as Paul said, let's imagine the first 30 to 60 days is just a training period. So once you get done with your training, that is when you could consider yourself starting the business. So don't get discouraged by seeing all the leaders and the success that your upline is having, because your upline, they've been in the business for some time. They've already gone through some training, and they've already begun to build their team. So you got to imagine it like when you see a big city skyscraper being built. It doesn't just appear in a day. What you need to do is you start, imagine yourself constructing a skyscraper, if you will, and use that as an analogy. I like your picture. It's a lot better than mine. I will show you people my picture. See that happy little guy right there with his shovel?
That's funny.
Imagine you're this happy guy with his shovel, just digging away, digging away.
Look at this. I put a smile on my guy too. See that?
Hey, you got a Cyclops.
That's a profile, man. Come on.
But you know what? The first thing you're going to start off, it's going to feel like you're trying to dig a giant hole with a small shovel or a trowel, but that's okay because we're going to dig down to bedrock. And so when you're looking for your first prospect, imagine yourself just happily starting to dig your foundation with that shovel, and you find your first person. And picture the prospect as the finding of prospects, as if you're building the foundation for a high-rise building. And then before you know it, once you've got your first 5 and you reach level 2, and now you've got your first 5 and you're helping your next 5 find their 5 each to reach the second level of 25. There you are, as Paul just showed, behind the wheel of a bulldozer now. See, now you've got 5 in your front line that you've dug with a shovel, and now you're digging for 25 by helping your 5 find their 5, and now you're really moving because now you're behind the wheel of a bulldozer. Let's see if Paul has the next picture to show here, because once you help your 5 find their 5, and now you've got 125 people in your organization, well, now you're digging down to bedrock. You're behind the wheel of a powerful steam shovel, if you will, because now you're digging for level 3. You're helping your first 5 train their 5 to find their 5, and now you can start digging down and considering yourself down the bedrock. And then once you reach that 3rd level, and when you're at level 4, once you start reaching level 4, that is when you become visible. That is when you start to build if you're imagining yourself like a high-rise building, now that's where you're building upwards after you now have your 4 levels intact. And once you've got those 4 levels in place, you really start to see the growth accelerate rapidly, because just the numbers alone, I mean, it's amazing what it could do. Like we started off showing you, you're digging with your shovel. You're looking for those 5 people. You've got those 5 people. Excellent. Now you're going to help those 5 people find their 5 people each, and you ain't digging with a shovel anymore. Now you're pushing that dirt out of the way with a nice, powerful bulldozer. And once you get those 5 to find their 5, you've got 125 people below you in your organization. Now you're having your 5 train their 5 each to find 5 more to get down to level 3, and now you're digging with a steam shovel. And then once you've got down to that 4th level, you are ready to start building up, and that's really when your business takes off and accelerates. Just the momentum and the power of leverage and all those people in place going out looking for more prospects. That's why you can't get discouraged. You just have to stay the course and build this business.
Yep. And it's one of the cool things too is that these napkin presentations in and of themselves, we talked about this on Friday just a little bit, but I'm going to touch on it some more. These are, in fact, self-motivators. Each and every time you see these napkin presentations being presented maybe by your sponsor to someone that you're bringing into the organization, because that's how it works, people. We help each other. You don't have to know how to do this right away, okay? You can start practicing while you're bringing in the people that you want to sponsor into the business, and having your sponsor or even their sponsor or even the sponsor above them, somebody who knows how to do these things very, very well, can come in, sit down with your people, and they can be doing these napkin presentations for you. That's the beauty of teaching and training and network marketing. You don't have to know squat, diddly, to begin with. All you got to do is start inviting people in, the people above you who do know squat, who do know diddly. They'll be helping you out, okay? So, and then, like I said, so each and every time you see and or do these napkin presentations, these are going to be self-motivating for you as well, too, to keep you moving and going in the business. And what's awesome about this particular napkin presentation is that not just seeing the napkin presentation in and of itself is going to be motivating, but from now on, every time you're out there driving around town, you see a building going up. We talk about a skyscraper in this, right? Because you have to build down to bedrock, because you can't build a skyscraper very high if you don't have a deep, solid foundation all the way down to bedrock, right? But even in any building, you see any building going up, you see a lot of stuff going on. You see, and nothing really seems to happen for months and months and months, and then all of a sudden, bam, up she goes, right? And that's the way it is. Picture that as your network marketing organization. And so from now on, every time you're driving around the road, you see construction, ground being broken on a new construction site, you're going to start thinking of napkin presentation number 4, and this is going to be a motivating factor, and you're going to be out there going, oh, those guys are digging down to bedrock, and I'm not there yet, and I got to go get me, I got to go sponsor another guy so I can put these shovels away and fire up the bulldozers, or so I can park these bulldozers and bust out that excavator, whatever the case might be, wherever you are in your business. So that's what's cool about these napkin presentations, is being self-motivators like that. So again, like John said, the first steps are you digging with a shovel or spade. That's you going out trying to find your 5 people, right? And then once you have your 5 people and you are teaching your 5 people how to sponsor 5 people, that's when you're pushing with that bulldozer and you're making things happen, getting 25 people in your organization. And once you've got that level completed and you're now training your people how to teach those 25 people, their 5 people, you're training your 5 how to teach their 5, how they can go out and they can sponsor 5. That's when you're getting down to that bedrock. And once you get down to that bedrock, that's when, once you've got that 125, as John said, that you have trained your people how to teach their people how to go out and get their 5 people. Now when you reach the next level, you're at bedrock now. Now when you reach the next level, this is where your skyscraper, your building starts coming up. And when you finish level 4, all of a sudden the people that are driving down the road, they start seeing this thing start popping up out of the ground going, hey, that building's finally going up. Look at that. And that's where you're really getting into the powerful numbers like John was talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Great explanation, Paul. And you know what's great about these napkin presentations number 2 is, as Paul mentioned, not only are they self-motivators, because every time you show these to people, you're actually strengthening your belief system in the business. You're actually motivating yourself because it's a self-motivational thing. But it's a lot of fun to break out a pen and doodle. I have a blast with these napkin presentations, and I'm really quite impressed with what a fantastic artist Paul is in comparison to my scribbles of these napkin presentations.
Are you copying them out of the book?
More or less. I got the idea from the book, which the book, again, Own Your Life Plan. If you haven't read it, read it. Go to ownyourlifeplan.com. I just want to put that out there. Makes this whole process really quite simple for you. Everything that Paul and I are discussing today is in that book. And we probably, like, we what do we take, 20 episodes or 20 hangouts to just go through the first 4 chapters. And the reason being is you'll probably hear us repeat chapter 5 quite a bit, but the mother of learning is repetition, and you have to understand the basics. You truly have to understand the basics and keep reiterating and going over the basics over and over and over again to really get this stuff. And these napkin presentations are important because this is the presentation. This is what we can show our prospects, and it's fun, it's self-motivating, and it's a nice visual aid that helps you in your presentation. It helps you. These pictures are good reminders of the explanation of what it takes to build down to bedrock and start building your organization upwards and out. And again, once you get down to bedrock on that level 3 and you're behind the wheels of one of these right here.
That's a cool picture.
That's when you could start building upwards. And unfortunately, I didn't draw the last part of that presentation, which is showing you the actual skyscraper. Oh, there it is. Paul's got it.
Oh, no. I didn't draw a skyscraper. I actually drew the finishing up part because there's one last final piece. Like John just said, you know, we continually talk about the same things over and over and over again, and the final step of napkin presentation number 5 is to fall back and show the quick demonstration of why the salesman syndrome does not work, because when you go out and you don't build your organization, you know, narrow and deep, as we talk about here, only 5 wide to start with, and then working deep, and you go out and you start bringing in people, you know, come on in. You bring in all these people into the organization, and you do like the salesman does, and you go 130 people wide, and even if they try to get their 5, you still can't get out of first gear. And you can never get into second gear. You're only right there. You're stuck. That's as far as you can go. And this is what the Salesman Foundation looks like. Is the very shallow. See where bedrock's way down here, and this little narrow foundation, this little shallow and very wide foundation. This is kind of like building your house on a slab instead of actually digging down and putting it on a foundation. It's very shallow. See all the cracks in there? That's what happens when you do the salesman syndrome. So as John said, you know, these things are all about repetition. It's all about getting the basics down. And up till here, these first 4 presentations, these are what you really want to be getting your people. You know, when you sponsor someone in, you're going to be training your people on these 5 presentations over and over again. From here moving forward, 6 through the rest of them. These can kind of be shown at any point in time. They don't have to be, you know, right in the beginning before people kind of get started or whatnot, you know, or while people are, while they're in their training period. Once they start getting people sponsored into their organization, 6 and beyond can start being introduced. These is really how to get yourself to number 6. So with that, I'm going to throw it back to John for the final word and get us out of here.
Absolutely. I see that we are out of time, and my only final word is that we want to master the Own Your Life Plan book, because that is our system. So I think it's awesome. We actually it only took us 2 episodes to get through chapter 5, which is great. So just set us up for Wednesday. We'll probably go a quick review of everything we've gone over so far, and if there's time after that review, we'll get into chapter 6. And I want everyone to go and have a fantastic week and start getting out there and start digging down to bedrock. Take out your shovels and start digging down and go find those 5 gold ships. And with that being said, O Universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom with which to make better use of the riches given to me at birth through the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever ends I may desire. And I just want to say there's one realization that I only just had recently, and it's because of saying this prayer every single day, which I urge everyone to do, is that, you know what, we already have all the wealth and abundance in our lives. We already have it. It's in here. We already have been given these riches. We just need the wisdom with which to pull out the gold nuggets from our own mind and take the knowledge and the wisdom that we already do have and begin to apply it and take action with the knowledge we have and with what we have, and we have the means to do it. So there's no excuses. So go out there and make it a great week, and I will see everybody back here on Wednesday.